everyone. How are you doing? So excited for you guys to be joining us today for yet another fantastic Facebook Live. You guys know who I am. I'm Sarah Newcomb. I'm so excited to have you guys here with me because we have got about a 20-minute, half-hour jam-packed Facebook Live. You're going to be learning so much. I mean, we've been talking for maybe like 5 or 10 minutes and I've been learning a ton already. So get ready for it. Now, you're not just going to be able to learn a bunch during this Facebook Live, you're also going to be able to win. That's right. Now, you might have guessed we have some friends who are helping us out with this Facebook Live. Thanks to Leapfrog and to VTech, you have the opportunity during this live stream, and maybe afterwards too, to win either the LeapStart 3D or the Touch and Learn Activity Desk. And these are both fantastic prizes. We're going to be telling you a little bit more about them during this live, but you also have the chance to win. So here's how you can win, because I know that you're worried about how you can win. You're going to like, you're going to share, and you're going to comment. You're going to do at least one of those 3 things, although, you know what, I'd like you to do all 3. That would be awesome. But you're going to like, you're going to share, and you're going to comment right on this Facebook Live. And you know what, if you're watching this on the replay, you can do the same thing. So do it right now. Do your like, do your share, leave me a comment. In fact, if you popped on early, right at the beginning of this, it's back to school time. How you feeling about that? I'm going to tell you truthfully, I'm really happy. I'm really excited.
If we're being honest.
I cannot wait. And maybe, you know, you have a little one going to preschool or kindergarten for the first time. Maybe you have a child who's a little bit older like mine and you can't wait for them to get back to school. Or maybe your kids are already back at school. But leave me a comment. Let me know. Are your kids back at school yet? And are you excited about it? I want to know, and I'm hoping that some of you are excited just like I am, because otherwise I sound like Mom of the Year over here.
No judgment.
No judgment. Well, thank you. I need to introduce you to my friend Kate then, who has no judgment for me and my happiness that my kids are going back to school. Kate is joining us. You guys know her. She's so fantastic, and we're going to be talking a little bit about kids' activities and the way our kids play. Now, Kate, your son is a little bit younger than my kid. So is he 3, almost 3?
3. He's 2.5, and he is a ball of energy, that one.
I mean, I think all of us can understand what that's like. It's never a dull moment at that age, right?
Absolutely.
Just go.
And busy, and trying to encourage that, like, you know, really robust play and that engaging play and that learning-based play, but man, it's hard to find that engagement all the time.
It is hard, and you have a baby at home too, right?
I do, yeah. Little Charlotte is almost 10 months, so it's sort of, you know what, balancing the 2 of them. Some days is just so easy, right, guys? But most days,
always
yeah, not
so easy. What are you talking about? Parenthood is just a breeze.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you can feel her, make sure you leave her a comment.
Please,
Kate needs
somebody
to know she's
help
not
me
alone.
out.
But when we have our kids, you know, playing, one thing that I found, especially with both of my sons, is that I need to get them playing with things that aren't just mindless play. I want them to be engaging and interacting and feeling like they're gaining more out of their playtime than, you know, simply having them veg out. Do you find the same thing?
Yeah, kids are such sponges at that age, right? They're learning every moment and finding, you know, things that they can play with and engage with that really feed into that and feed their minds, and, you know, hearing them play with things and then repeat things back to you that they're learning. Like, that's the kind of stuff that we want to find for him that just sort of feeds that mind, and it's great to find those things.
And so one of those things that we were actually talking about right before we went live is this Touch and Learn Activity Desk. So you have to tell us, you've been using it at home for the past little while.
This morning.
Tell us how it's been going.
So Emmett is such a ball of energy, like constant, you know, looking for stimuli, looking for games, looking to interact with things. And I will tell you that this activity desk is the thing that has kept his attention the longest in probably the last 6 months. It has, like, it feels like about 5 toys in one. And it's just so great. Everything about it is grounded in learning, grounding in logic, grounding in sort of growing his ability and growing his mind, but in such a fun way.
Yeah, and I was saying to you, because my sons are slightly older than yours,
Yeah.
I used to have a separate telephone, a separate desk, a separate music box, a separate everything. We would always lose something without fail.
Right.
But what I really like about this is it's compact. Everything is right there.
Yes. And I live in the city, so we have a small home in the city. Like, making toys work hard is so important, right? We just don't have space for, 5 different things, and this literally does it all. Not to mention that my son doesn't know what a phone is, so seeing something in this format is way more friendly for him. He's like, oh, I get that. It looks like mummies. But yeah.
Yeah, my second son, who is almost 7, doesn't understand how to put a phone up to his ear, so he will always just hold it in front of his face and not understand why nobody's FaceTiming him. So that really does kind of give that like cell phone feel.
Totally,
it
does. And I have to tell you, so this morning, we were all playing. Charlie's on the floor, she's learning to crawl, so she's into everything. And he just walked over and flipped on the jams for Charlie. And this whole, this is all a little music system over here. So there's different ways you can interact with it. But he just already, after having played with it for a week, knows how to go over, turn on some music, and start a little dance party in our living room, which is fabulous. So just another way that he loves interacting and playing with it.
And I think we need to say as well, you might be looking at the top of this desk, it's got the ABCs, but there also are some additional interactive cards that you can add on.
Yes.
You have the human body, there are fruits and colors, so there's tons of different ways that they can be learning, so they're not going to get bored or worried. You don't have to be worried about them constantly seeing the same thing over and over again.
Totally. He's super into body parts right now. We won't go down that rabbit hole at the moment, but this was a big hit. And I will also tell you that his other favorite thing about this is that when he starts playing with it and pressing all the buttons, and all of a sudden it'll come up with a challenge, and it'll show you on the screen hey, how many rectangles are on the screen? And then he gets to look at it, count them, and press the button. And it has a whole dialogue with him about, learning about that. And he gets so proud of himself, and it's this big competitive streak that comes out in him. But I love it. It's that sort of interaction that I think keeps his interest. And he can do that on the phone. He can do that. There's different activities, search and find activities on here. So no matter what card you have on there, you press the magnifying glass and it'll say what letter comes after N, and he has to look for that. So great.
So I think we need to turn it on.
Yeah,
because, let's do it. We can't really talk about it and not just turn it on. Come on, let's play.
So cute.
So I think you were telling me that you love that this is a real little face, right?
Totally. It feels like his little buddy. So this is where all the prompts come up. You'll see on here, anytime you're looking for the shapes or they're talking.
The letter L.
Right there.
Right there. So it's like your little buddy is talking to you, which is just so great. It feels really animated and feels really fun for him.
And do you know what I like too? It gives them a sense of ownership, and it gives them a sense of independence. They pull up their little seat, they can go and sit at the desk. It's their own desk, especially if you work from home. I found this a lot. My kids want their own desk, right? They want to feel like mommy. So this is really what you're giving them.
Totally. And he will find different ways to play with it. You just let him go. And I told him in the beginning, we would try a couple things and test things out, and then he just went with it. And he would figure stuff out that I hadn't even figured out yet. So
I know,
it's so
the best
great.
part. Kids are so smart. I'm going to turn this off only because there's another little surprise, and this is what I really like with this guy. Check it out. Flip this up, and what do you have here?
This is amazing, guys. This is a chalkboard built right into the bottom with an easel clip on it. So if you want to clip in pieces of paper, it's an amazing little workstation for them. You can put crayons or chalk or other things in here, and they will just go to town on this and take a damp cloth, wipe it off, and it's good to go.
And what I really like about that is that this is a layered toy. Again, we're giving the kids options. They've got the interactivity, but if they don't want to be working on the desk and doing their ABCs or learning body parts or whatever it is, now they can draw, and they have that independence and can do it on their own.
Love it. It's so great. Just another way it works hard.
I mean, they're thinking about parents. This is what I think when I see toys like this. They're thinking about parents.
Well designed,
yes,
right? That's the thing.
We want something that they're going to love. Now, I know you've seen all this. You want to win it, right? Yeah, you do. So you're going to like this live. You're going to share it with all of your friends, and you're going to comment. Tell me what your favorite feature is. Tell me how much your kids would love this. Tell me what you loved about it as we were chatting about it. So leave that comment right now while you're thinking about it so that I can make sure that you're entered to win this activity desk. Kate, you're awesome.
Oh, thanks for
having
me, guys.
you here.
Thanks
I
for
hate
hanging out
to
with
make
us.
you leave, but you don't you leave.
Wait for it.
You stay there. There's going to be a little switch here, friends. Because, I I've said it a couple times. My kids are not really that young anymore, which makes me sad, Mark.
Me too. I can relate. Heck, I want this.
Right,
I want this
know.
for me. Forget my kids. This is awesome. It's
you
great.
guys know Mark Saltzman.
Hey.
He's so smart. I love talking to you. But what I really love is you get it, because you get kids grow up and they're not necessarily going to use a toy like this, but that technology is such a draw. So my son is 7, as I've said, or just about to be 7. And technology is the biggest draw in his life, and how could it not be? It's everywhere,
It's a blessing and it's a curse. And I'm the first to say that as someone who reviews technology and is an evangelist for gadgets and all that. Everything in moderation, of course, but there's something to be said for tactile feedback, right? Something physical to touch. And I think a lot of moms and dads can appreciate that, because we don't want their kids, their face in a screen the whole time. So what I love about a lot of these products, including one we're going to get to in a moment, is that it does marry the physical with the digital, because that part's important too, and it can really help that interaction. You know, and when you talk about education, it's good to have that verbal feedback or that kind of multimedia to accentuate what you're doing physically.
Yeah, and what I like about this company too, VTech and Leapfrog, they get it. You know, they get that kids are going to be drawn to technology, so let's give them an opportunity to learn and to grow and to develop as they're using that technology. And let's make parents feel safe with it too, right?
This is what they get. They understand that educational toys have to be fun, or else the kids aren't going to play it more than once.
Yes.
But it also has to be a learning toy. It can't be too much fun and not enough education. So I think, and I've said this for years, that Leapfrog, more than anyone else that I've ever worked with or reviewed their products, they understand that cross-section of education and entertainment. And it's a perfect balance. I got to tell you, anecdotally, so my kids grew up on Leapfrog stuff. They're a little bit older, but they are all honor roll students. I'm a proud dad here. Could there be a positive correlation between Leapfrog and my kids all being on the honor roll?
I say yes.
Possibly. It's not a stretch. It's great products, and including the one that I would love to chat with you about if we have time. So it's called the LeapStart 3D, and it's an interactive book learning system. So you may be familiar with its predecessor, the LeapStart, but the LeapStart 3D, as the name suggests, adds a little bit of a video element as an addendum, a little bit of extra incentive to keep going, because sometimes when you touch content, there's a little animation that pops up, and it seems like it's 3D. It's almost like a hologram. We'll show you with that in a moment.
You have to stay, because when I saw it, I think I was like,
it's
mind
amazing.
blown. It's amazing.
But at its core, this is a portable book system. So you get this little, I love the little carrying handle here. So parents can, or kids can easily bring this with them. It's for ages 2 through 7. So preschool up to say grades 2 or so. And there are more than 30 different books. You get a sampler with it. And the books teach different concepts. And you can choose as a parent what you'd like their kids to sharpen. So math skills, language, like reading and writing.
Oh, that's so smart.
ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, sharing and caring. It could be life skills, not just academics.
You know what? That's a really good point, because really we want these well-rounded children. We're not just constantly talking about academics, and that gives us the opportunity, right?
Absolutely, especially in the digital age where socializing, there could be some challenges there. We don't need to go there, but definitely books like this are great. So at its core, it's a book system where you snap in the book, and you do get that sampler to start. Each book has over 30 different activities, and children or with their mom or dad can actually go through the book and use this magic stylus and read along. And when you touch content, let me just turn the book on, that might help.
I mean, even technology people forget to turn things on.
It's actually smart, because after a couple of minutes of inactivity, it turns itself off. Right.
Hallelujah.
Oh, but you don't have to worry about batteries either, because it plugs in to a computer. Yeah, there's
so
like
good.
there's a little charging cable.
Hi. You're speaking my language.
Yeah, awesome. So anyhow, so this is a different, let's see what book we've got here. This one is called Scout and Friends Math. So this one, and it tells you the age, so preschool, or kids age 2 through 5. And it also, some of their content does have licensed partnerships. So Disney and Pixar, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol, we know how popular that is.
That's a great way to draw kids in too, right? Their favorite character.
So there's different activities and games that all encourage, in this case, math. So a bingo game. Some of the books are more story-driven, so kids can read along as they get older, or they can hear it being read to them, or again, mom or dad can read it with them.
Excellent.
When you touch content, So now let's show what the 3D part is all about.
Yeah.
So,
okay, you guys ready for
yeah,
this?
so let me find something here. Now,
So you
when
guys let us know if you can see it.
Yeah,
okay?
I'll come a
I wanna see
little
comments
closer
on
to the
this.
camera. All right. When you touch content that is 3D enabled, and again, it's a short little clip. It's not like it's a whole screen that runs a long time. What I'm going to do is tap this dog, and it's going to initiate a small video, which the kids love. So let me just come a little bit closer. So
Okay, get ready.
Yes, you're going to hear a little tone that suggests that it can be heard. So here we go. That's the tone.
Can you
So
guys
hear
see it?
that? Yeah.
Can you see it?
And it looks
Yeah.
3D. If you see it in person, especially for younger kids who are vertically challenged like I am, it's angled perfectly at you. So you can see here, that's an example of what the animation looks like.
It's so cool.
And there's dozens of them for each book. So this is the LeapStart 3D book system. And I love that it's only $59, which is
that's
not going to
awesome.
break the bank.
Yeah.
You do get that sampler book with over 30 activities. And then each book after that is under $10. And each one has 30 or 40 or even more activities.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
I think you must find that kids are just so drawn to the different elements of it. So not only are you hearing a book, but you're also getting
Right.
that visual on the book itself, but then that 3D.
As
portion
you mentioned
as well.
earlier with layers, right?
Yes.
It's not a linear play experience. There's
Yes.
different ways to consume this content.
Yeah.
So this one uses Mickey Mouse, of course, and this is a storybook. Again, that we have an example of math there, and then this is the sampler book that you get with it, which is a variety of things. So just a great value proposition and a great present even for those
Well,
who
and it's
have young
portable,
kids.
and I think as parents we all know like
And
that's
durable.
durable
Yeah,
and portable.
yeah.
Like those are music to our ears. So I'm hearing in the comments. First of all, there's a lot of comments about just how much they love both products and the interactivity. But they were wondering, does it come in any other languages or is it only in English?
I believe that there's French, but not for the video,
Okay.
or it's coming this fall. I remember asking
Perfect.
Leapfrog that very same question. So there will be some French content this fall. And by the way, if you do have a previous LeapStart book system that's not the 3D, those books will work with the new one, except without the video. But all the audio
But
works.
still, it'll work. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. So you're not having to buy the same books over and over
Yeah.
again.
And you'll see it's really easy to load up the book. There's a little USB port here. So when you when you buy a new book, you then connect it to your computer and it'll download the audio and video component directly to the book. And it can hold a lot of content as well. And then that's how you load up the book. So
Yeah,
it's
and
really
I can
easy
attest to
do.
that because I actually was trying this out and I hooked up to my computer. I think it took me all of 5
Oh, yeah,
minutes to
that's
get
it.
it started. And probably, to be honest, if I'd let one of my sons do it, it would have taken
Exactly.
like 2 minutes.
You don't need a degree in computer engineering to figure that out. It's very
No,
easy.
if I can do it, you can do
Yeah,
it. Trust
awesome.
me. So it's amazing to me too that technology has grown so much. You know, my oldest son is 9. And we definitely had things like this, but the way technology has grown, have you seen kids asking for more of this? Like, you know, is that something that you're constantly seeing?
Yeah, so I do case studies with kids, and when I'm researching articles for the publications that I write for, I often sit with kids and I watch their play patterns, and I see the role that technology plays. And I think that, again, I've said it earlier, that moms or dads, they can appreciate this combination of both physical play and with digital learning, because there are benefits to both. And this is an example of a product that marries both. If if kids could have their way, they want mom and dad's iPad and they can sit with it all day, I don't think that's ideal either. By the way, just as a side note, there is a product called the Epic, the Leapfrog Epic learning tablet, which is more durable, more affordable, and with lots of educational content as well, should you want to give them the ability to use a tablet. But I just love that this is for younger kids with the Magic Stylus. It's more durable. It's certainly more affordable at only $59.
Yeah.
So kids do want this, and they do want more of it, especially when you can get them with the Paw Patrol and the Pixar, the Cars characters or Disney princesses. That's like the way to get them in, and then they're so engaged with the content.
That's what I like too, because it's not mom and dad going like, play this, enjoy it, love it, it's technology. The kids are like, I want it, thank you.
Exactly.
Which is perfect. So guys, I don't want to interrupt you, but I do want to remind you that you have the opportunity to win either one of these or one of these. Can you imagine? My goodness. So this is how you are going to win. You are going to like this video. You are going to share this video, and I also want you to leave a comment. You know what? Your comment can also be a question, hey?
Sure, yeah.
We
and
would
I'll be
love
happy
to have your
answer them.
questions.
Yeah.
You can also leave us a question that will enter you to win either one of these products, our friends at Leapfrog and VTech have spoiled us today.
Yes.
As always,
it's
right?
great to
They're
work
so
with them.
fantastic. They're amazing. So, you know what? I think that I have one last question, and my big question, this is actually from me, but it came in on the comments
Sure.
as well. So if I'm looking to find that balance between my kids always wanting technology and me as a parent being like, I don't know if you should constantly be on technology, what would you say to that parent who's really struggling with that balance, especially as somebody who, I mean, you're so tech savvy, right?
Yeah, thank you. I always remind moms and dads that they're the ones in charge. And I know it can be an efficient babysitting tool to just hand the kid a tablet at a restaurant. And there's a time and a place for that, but everything in moderation.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, and I don't mean to sound preachy, but as a dad of 3 kids who grew up with more tech, like my house looks like, you know, a big box electronics store exploded. That there has to be offline and online play.
Yeah.
You want to encourage social interaction,
Yeah.
not just over Fortnite with the headset on, but real play.
He's
And-
speaking my language.
Yeah.
Like, you know he knows what he's talking
Yeah.
about when he mentions that.
And especially at younger ages, I really like the, you know, sitting down with the kids and
Yeah.
experiencing this together,
Yeah.
making it a family activity with a child on your lap, maybe towards bedtime or after dinner, you clean up and you just, you know, before bath time, you sit and you're sharpening their skills and they don't even realize it because it's so fun. And so by the time that they get into JK and kindergarten, they already are so familiar with these concepts. It's it does get, I really truly believe anecdotally that it gives you a huge boost.
And you know what? I love that you just said that, and that's really the answer I wanted to hear. Having them on your lap, doing this together, it still gives you that, you know, connected time.
Yeah,
You're still
love it.
spending time together,
Yeah.
but you've got that technology in there.
And you
He's
can
so
still
awesome.
give it to them in the back seat too. I mean, it works both
Hallelujah,
ways.
preach,
I
yes.
think. To reduce the "Are we there yet?" Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the arguing in the
Yeah,
back seat
of
too.
course.
Oh man.
There is a headphone jack for any parents who haven't asked yet. So.
Hello. Can we all take a moment of silence for the headphone jack? Thank you. You're awesome. I know our audience gets so excited when they get the opportunity to see you talk because you
Thank
actually
you.
know what you're talking about, but you also have kids. So
Yes, thank you.
that helps, doesn't it?
I hope so.
This has been such a great Facebook Live because I've learned a lot, and I know if I'm learning a lot, you guys are learning a lot, and then of course we have a chance to win. So, have you liked? Have you shared? Have you commented? Here's your opportunity. Do it now because we're going to be wrapping this up. I want you to be the one who wins one of these. So if you're watching on the replay or if we're just finishing up live, there's still time. Put your comments and put your questions right into the stream, and we'll make sure that we go back and answer as many of them as we can. But I can't thank you enough for joining us today. It's always so fun to hang out with you guys. We have the best YMC community in the world. We really, really do. You guys are fantastic. We'll see you again soon.